And this is the first close-up video from the attack on Chongar Bridge. Spectacular. The moment of a Ukrainian Storm Shadow missile hitting the bridge, which is critically important route for supplying Russian troops in the Zaporizhia area. In order to illustrate the impact of the de facto destruction of the Chongar Bridge, we see the original path of a supply truck coming from the Jankoy to Melitopol in red, and the remaining two alternatives in blue and yellow going through Armyansk. The supply lines have been almost doubled, and they lead now through less useful roads than the main artery before. Double the time or half the supply in the same time equals to strategic degradation, not mentioning Ukrainian partisans having now their chances doubled to interfere. This is the area between the occupied Crimea and the occupied Kherson region. Russian local TV advises the population to instead use the two roads that merge into one near Armyansk. Crimea is slowly becoming more and more cut off. With the damage to the Chongar crossing between Kherson and Crimea last night, Russian military traffic will be forced to use the Armyansk route, passing through Chaplinka, 50 kilometers from Ukrainian positions and in HIMARS range. These are the first shots of the Chongarsky Bridge immediately after arrival. From the video, you can understand that two bridges were attacked, not just one. The incompetence of Russian propaganda just broke through another rock layer. Staged cars are placed on the Chongar Bridge. This car was driving across the bridge with no transmission or drive shaft. And the plethora of RIA-approved videos earlier showed no vehicles on the bridges. You have a missed one. Russian air defense is powerless against Western Storm Shadow and Taurus missiles. Everything that did not work out this time will work out tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. But sooner or later, the Chongar Bridge will be destroyed, because Western cruise missiles hit right on target, while Russian missiles are not capable of hitting important military targets such as bridges. They can only attack peaceful cities, bringing death and destruction. Watch how the German-Swedish aircraft cruise missile Taurus destroys bridges. And we must be honest and say how things really are. When errors and problems are seen, then a framework for solving them can be set. In its early phases, Ukraine's counteroffensive is having less success, and Russian forces are showing more competence than Western assessments expected. Two Western officials and a senior U.S. military official tell CNN. The counteroffensive is not meeting expectations on any front, one of the officials said. According to the Western assessments, Russian lines of defense have been proving well fortified, making it difficult for Ukrainian forces to breach them. In addition, Russian forces have had success bogging down Ukrainian armor with missile attacks and mines, and have been deploying air power more effectively. Ukrainian forces are proving vulnerable to minefields and Russian forces competent in their defense, one of the Western officials said. The officials cautioned that the counteroffensive is still in its early stages, and that the U.S. and its allies remain optimistic Ukrainian forces will be able to make territorial gains over time. The U.S. and its allies are likely to wait until at least July for a fuller assessment of the progress of the counteroffensive, which was gradually launched over the last few weeks, and is seen as crucial to determining who ultimately wins the war which was launched when Russia invaded last year. In addition, these officials note that Ukrainian forces have themselves been adapting to Russian tactics and defenses, including carrying out more dismounted operations. In recent days, Ukrainian forces have also had more success targeting and shooting down Russian aircraft. Ultimately, the counteroffensive is proving a tough drive for Ukraine and Russia, one of the Western officials said, with both sides incurring heavy losses. Sometimes problems solve themselves. This Russian Mi-24 crashed in Russian-occupied Belarus somewhere near the M1 highway. Pilots survived, but judging from this damage, likely with severe injuries.
О, боже мой, это страшно, там человек. Боже мой.
Take a break with this crazy machine gunner. Rambo the dog used to help the armed forces of Ukraine, but he was wounded by a fragment from a rocket. Rambo was rescued by an emergency operation. Then he was treated in Hungary for 8 months. His jaw was restored, his right ear was amputated, and several teeth were removed. The dog has been adopted by the Budapest police and is now learning to work there.
Hát az első gondolatom, először is megsajnáltam őt, tehát nagyon sajnálatos dolog, ami vele történt. Utána egy csodának tartottam, hogy megmaradt, és hogy amikor elmentünk hozzá és meglátogattuk, akkor meg a másik csoda fogadott minket, hogy mennyire nyitott az emberekkel. Annak ellenére, hogy ilyen sérülések, ilyen megrázkódtatások érték.
Sajnos előfordul, hogy a gyerekek csúfolják egymást azért, mert szemüveges, mert fogszabályzója van, mert eláll a füle, vagy tök mindegy más. Akkor pont a Rambóval esetleg ezeket a gyerekeket kicsit érzékenyíteni tudnánk, és meg tudnánk azt neki mutatni, hogy igen, sérült, más, de ugyanazokat a dolgokat meg tudja csinálni, mint a többi kutya.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.